Welcome everyone, and we are gonna be diving into the digestive system from top to bottom. So, starting off with the buccal cavity. The buccal cavity consists mainly of three structures: the teeth, the tongue, and the different salivary glands. Let's look at them one by one, starting off with the teeth. Let's look at the structure of the teeth first. In case of humans, the teeth is embedded into the bones of the face, which are the mandible and the maxilla. The roots of our teeth are completely embedded in the bone. This kind of an arrangement is known as thecodont. Now let's look at the different structures or parts of the teeth. At the very top, we have the enamel, which is the hardest part of our body. Below the enamel, we have the dentine, which is a calcified structure and very similar to bone, but not bone. The dentine covers the pulp. The pulp continues to the root of the teeth as the root canal. And when a cavity or an infection reaches and damages this root canal, that's when you go for an RCT or a root canal treatment. Now, this structure over here, as mentioned earlier, where the tooth is embedded, is the bone. In this case, the mandible. This bone is then covered by the gum, which in scientific terms is known as gingiva. So now, after looking at the structure of the teeth, let's look at the different types of teeth that we have. Now, in case of humans, as we all know, we have different types of teeth, and this kind of an arrangement where an organism has different types of teeth is known as a heterodont. Now, what are the different types of teeth that we have? Just at the front, we have the canines. These are eight in number and are meant for cutting of food, as is evident by their structure. Now, after the canines, behind them we have incisors, which are four in number, two on each side of the jaw, which are meant for tearing of food. Behind the incisors, we have premolars, which are four on each side of the jaw and are meant for crushing and holding the food. All these three, the canines, incisors, and the premolars, have only one root. Coming to the molars, we have 12 molars, six on each side of the face. These are meant for grinding and have two roots. Now there's something called as a dental formula, which shows the number of each type of teeth present on one side of the face. For example, in case of an adult human, the dental formula is 2123 by 2123, which means two canines, one incisor, two premolars, and three molars on the upper jaw of one side of the face, and the same two canines, one incisor, two premolars, and three molars on the lower jaw. In case of children, this formula is 2102 by 2102, which means they have no premolars and only two molars. Now, clearly, we humans have two different sets of teeth that we grow during our lifetime, and this is known as diphyodont. The first one, which we grow during the childhood, are the primary or the milk teeth, and the second are the permanent or the secondary teeth, which replace the primary ones and are seen in adults. Now, let's come to the second part, which is the tongue. Tongue is a highly muscular organ located in the buccal cavity, and since we can move it with our will, the muscle fibers present here are the skeletal muscle fibers. On the surface of the tongue, we have different projections known as papillae. These papillae contain taste buds. There are different types of papillae: the filiform papillae, the fungiform papillae. These look like mushroom, and since mushroom is a fungi, these are known as fungiform papillae. These circular ones are the valate or the circumvallate papillae, and finally the foliate papillae. All of these contain taste bud except the filiform papillae, which contains no taste buds. One thing to note is that stuff like green chilies or peppers don't really stimulate any taste receptors on our tongue. Instead, they stimulate the pain receptors. The tongue is attached to the floor of the mouth by a structure known as frenulum. So now let's come to the final part of our discussion today, the salivary glands. We have three major pairs of salivary glands which are located outside the buccal cavity but drain their secretions, which is saliva, into the buccal cavity through their respective ducts. So first we have the parotid gland. These are the biggest gland and biggest salivary glands actually, and they drain their secretions into the mouth via the Stenson's duct or the duct of parotid. These glands have only serous type of secretions, which mean they secrete only enzymes along with water and electrolytes, but they don't secrete any mucus. After that, we have got the submandibular gland, which since located just below the mandible is known as submandibular. This gland drains its secretion into the buccal cavity via Wharton's duct. This gland is of mixed type, which means it secretes both enzymes and mucus. After that, we have the sublingual gland, which is present just below the floor of the buccal cavity, and it drains its secretion into the buccal cavity via duct of Rivinus. This gland as well is of mixed type and has both components, which are the enzymes and the mucus. So now let's summarize the topic. The buccal cavity has three main components: the teeth, the tongue, and the salivary glands. The teeth are of four different types: the incisors, which are meant for cutting, the canines meant for tearing, premolars for crushing and holding, and the molars for grinding. Now, there are few important terms like the heterodont, which means humans have different types of teeth, diphyodont, which means we grow different sets of teeth during our life, and thecodont, which means that our teeth have roots which are completely embedded into the facial bone. Also, there's something known as dental formula, which for adults is 2123 by 2123, and for children with primary or mid teeth is 2102 by 2102. Now, coming to the tongue. The tongue is made mainly of striated muscles, and its surface has projections known as papillae. There are different types of papillae known as fungiform, filiform, valvate, and foliate. Out of these, the filiform is the only one which does not have taste buds. Coming to the salivary glands, we have three pairs of salivary gland: the parotid, submandibular, and sublingual. Parotid drains its secretion into the buccal cavity via Stenson's duct, submandibular via Wharton's duct, and sublingual via duct of Rivinus. So, hope you understood the topic. Thank you, and we'll be coming up soon with the other videos of digestive system.